At first light on the Adriatic Sea, Captain Davide Sanulli and his crew begin harvesting mussels off the coast of Emilia-Romagna in Italy. It's already a tough start to the day getting up this early, but things are about to get harder. Mussels grow on long underwater ropes. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort to pull them out.
It's hard, but I never complain. Each job has its difficulties.
Machines do help, but their noise can be deafening. Mud gets in the fishermen's eyes, and they must also watch out for moving parts. This is a loud, wobbly factory floor in the middle of the sea.
In the past, everything had to be done manually. Today, we have all these machines. Technology makes it easier on your back. That's a benefit. But on the other hand, it has made the work much more frantic.
The crew wears protective gloves, heavy aprons, and rubber boots that are intentionally too large to quickly kick them off in the case of a crew member falling accidentally overboard. On a deck covered with slippery mussels, falls are a major risk.
You always get tired, and then you can easily slip and fall into the water or bang your head.
Fishing and offshore aquaculture are very risky jobs. On moving trawlers, fishermen can fall overboard unnoticed and drown. Ships can collide with obstacles and sink. In 2019 alone, at least 16 fishermen died in European waters, and more than 200 were seriously injured. For 19-year-old Lorenzo, mussel harvesting is just a summer job. He says it pays well, but few young people are really interested in choosing this career.
They say it's hard to be a fisherman, and that is true. In the summer, you have to get up early, which means going to bed early. So no partying at night. That's a sacrifice not many young people are ready to make.
That makes fishing mostly a job for middle-aged men, whose wives are often portrayed as homemakers, anxiously waiting for the men's safe return. In fact, women today play a key role in the fishing business administration, dealing with processing and sale of catch. They almost never go out to fish, but there are rare exceptions.
I'm
a fisherwoman. I'm the only woman in Cesenatico and in the whole of Emilia-Romagna to work on a fishing boat. I wouldn't say it's a very tough job for men, except on stormy days when there's a risk we'll bump into a tree trunk floating on the sea. But for women who have to take care of the house and the children, this job is beyond hard, it's the hardest.
Shidem has 2 adult daughters and works on a small fishing boat. Regulations on working conditions often disregard small vessels. There are more rules for larger ships that spend weeks and months at sea. But fishermen at Cesenatico say the tough work on smaller vessels can affect your health.
It's the cold, the rain, the weight on your back, and the hours. The working hours are endless.
We talk about bone diseases. I, for one, have esophagus problems.
In Italy, most of the boats are old. We need a real modernization plan.
Better technologies help a lot, but their potential is not fully used. There are funding options, but people don't have much knowledge on that matter or don't accept the costs.
There's a global discussion on how to make fishing safer. Part of the solution depends on stricter regulations. In Europe, that includes a number of EU directives and international conventions, like the International Labour Organisation's so-called Convention 188, Work in Fishing, so far only ratified by 7 EU member states. Another tool is targeted funding. The EU supports training and some vessel modifications that improve safety without increasing catches. However, according to the regional administration, boat upgrades are rare, as half of the cost has to be paid by the ship owners themselves.
We made 2 calls to the Emilia-Romagna region to try to encourage fishermen to improve their equipment. We had meetings and did various promotional activities. But despite all these efforts, we were unable to convince many to invest in onboard safety. They say yes to training, but won't make material investments. And that is unfortunately a problem.
Upgrades of older vessels are costly and limited by the lack of space on board. But new ships can be designed with better safety in mind. Alberto is a technical safety engineer. He inspects fishing vessels and points out small improvements that can make a big difference. Covers for moving ropes, security clasps for fixtures, the height of railings, and air conditioning are all things that make work more comfortable and thus safer.
A calm and cheery crew can cope better with the fatigue that is unavoidable in this kind of work. A crew like that has fewer accidents on board, and the fishing vessel overall is safer.
Massimo works with fishery cooperatives, trade unions and their EU interlocutors to improve work conditions on board vessels, using regular technical inspections and safety training.
When fishermen go out to sea, the main goal is for them to come back safely. Nothing else matters. So it's extremely important to implement and follow the rules. Italy is a little behind in the process of ratification of Convention 188, but we are working on it. And fishermen must try to anticipate these changes and not wait for stricter rules to become compulsory.
The 4 shellfish farmers have now been at sea for 7 hours. Having harvested 2 tons of mussels, they are now visibly tired. In the coming months, Davide is planning to upgrade all the equipment to make their work easier and safer.
I've already filed an application for a work package worth €70,000 to modernise this boat, improving everything, and 50% of it will be funded by Europe.
On the way back to shore, the crew can relax a while, but their day still isn't over. At the harbour, they still have to unload the mussels and prepare the boat for another gruelling day of fishing.